Is your cat annoyed with you? To be honest, it's more likely than you might think. While the stereotype that they are grumpy, aloof little tyrants is not true all the time, and they are far more loving than the smear campaign from dog fans would suggest, they can sometimes fit into the stereotype more than we might like to admit. And these are some clear-cut signs your cat is annoyed with you. Cats can be cantankerous goofs at times, irritated by the tiniest things. And yes, that can lead to your cat giving you the cold shoulder. But not always in ways you might recognize given they are, and I hate to be the one to break this to you, not human. They have their own unique ways of expressing irritation that are wholly exclusive to cat kind. One of the more common ways they let you know they are miffed is via their tail. Nothing communicates a cat's mood quite like their tail. If it is gently swaying, well, that infers that they are relaxed. But if it is sharply flicking and swishing from side to side, like a blade in the hands of a master fencer mid-combat, this is often a sign of something very, very different. Most feline behaviorists agree that a cat who does this is very annoyed, and very much on the cusp of escalating to far more obvious signs of irritation and anger. Hissing, walking away, writing inappropriate comments on Reddit, etc. If you notice your cat's tail swishing rapidly while you pet them, it's best to stop faster than Barry Allen and give them a little bit of space before minor irritation escalates to major anger. The more exaggerated the movement, the stronger the emotion behind it. This makes it nice and easy to decipher what's going through your cat's tiny little brain. A single tail flick? Well, that's mild irritation. But constant forceful swinging? That's a very clear sign that they are ramping up to a full-blown Kylo Ren-style anger rampage. Whatever you are doing in that moment when the tail flicks begin, whether it's petting them, picking them up, or beatboxing at them, take those flicks as a real red flag or warning sign and rein in what you're doing, unless you're in the mood to be on the receiving end of a scratch attack. Learning to read tail language is crucial in preventing conflict with your cat, so always keep an eye on how their tail is moving. But it's not just the tail end of their bodies which can convey their annoyance, but the top end as well. Just like how the tail conveys a wide breadth of secrets, so does your cat's ears. When your cat is relaxed, their ears are in a natural upright position that makes their heads look a little bit like Batman's cowl. But when your cat is annoyed, those ears will slide backwards faster than Wally West. And if they flatten against their heads completely, like they've been pushed back with industry-strength hair gel, that is an unmistakable sign of irritation or even fear and aggression. That is your cat in peak Hulk mode. This reaction can happen in response to overstimulation, an unfair situation, loud noises, or extreme annoyance. If you're petting your cat and notice their ears flattening, take it as an early warning sign that they are coming toward the limit of how much attention they're willing to tolerate at that moment. Any second now they may lash out, so this is a warning to disengage and wait a little before interacting with them. If you see your cat's ears pinned back, it's time to step away and let them decompress. If you don't keep an eye out for body language signs like this, you may find your cat escalating to a more extreme form of showing you they're annoyed, like dramatically storming off. That's right, it's Segway o'clock. There is something I'm sure every single one of you watching is familiar with. There you are, petting your cat. Everything seems calm, cute, and peaceful. It's a loving little hang session, and as your fingers scratch away at their oh-so-soft fur, you can't help but think to yourself, cats are so much easier to understand than humans. I know where I stand with my cat. They'd never do something annoying and random like run away without warning like an ex-partner did. But then, bam, your cat suddenly jumps up and wanders off. No explanation, no warning. Just an abrupt exit like they suddenly remembered that they're late for a train. This is a clear sign that they've had enough and want their own space. I mean, it's so clear that they're quite literally leaving the environment to go get the time alone that they're in the mood for. And yes, sadly, this can mean they've become annoyed with you, so are in the mood to be away from you right now. Remember, cats are independent creatures. Sure, some are affectionate. They like to be in a gang with you. But even cats have their limits and want to grab some alone time here and there. Sort of like how some frontmen of bands occasionally need to go and make a solo record before they pop back to the group. If your cat does this, don't be offended, and don't worry about the fact you've annoyed them. Given how quickly they can snap from wanting to be in the band to wanting to go solo, it's almost impossible to preempt it. It's going to happen, and you're not to blame. But what you mustn't do is try to force them back into the band if they've been irritated into a solo phase. Yes, I'm going to keep stretching this metaphor, and you cannot stop me. Doing so may result in them being more annoyed, and you could find yourself receiving a scratch or bite, or both. It's important to respect a cat's boundaries. Unlike dogs who often tolerate extended interaction, cats have a much more shorter threshold for physical attention, and the violating of that can lead to irritation. What might feel like a normal petting session to you may well be annoyingly overstimulating for them. If your cat frequently walks away after what seems like a short period of interaction, try limiting your petting to just a few strokes and then let them decide if they're in the mood for more. Letting them have control over the interaction can help prevent frustration and build trust, and will lead to less storming out of the band. We're all familiar with the classic moment in Shrek 2, very much the Citizen Kane of Shrek movies, when Puss in Boots utilized the superpower of making his eyes all big and cute to get what he wants. And yes, this does seem to be an aspect of cat behavior very much rooted in reality. The swashbuckling antics, less so. But this is not the only way cats communicate what they're feeling and what they want with those big, gorgeous eyes of theirs. Your cat may well be prone to using a long, hard, intense stare to intimidate you, and they're not alone. If a human you've annoyed stares at you, unblinking for a long stretch, it's a real hint they're peeved at you, and it means exactly the same when a cat does it. But this is not the only thing your cat might do with their eyes if you've irritated them. When a cat is truly annoyed, they can resort to shooting laser beams out of their eyes. Nah, I'm just kidding. Good to know you're paying attention, though. But there actually is something else cats do with their eyes to let you know they're annoyed. And it's something humans do as well. If your cat is deliberately avoiding eye contact, they might be expressing their irritation in a more passive way than an intense stare-off. It's a tactic common amongst many humans as well. If someone in our lives has frustrated us for one reason or another, we choose to look away from them. Almost like we are subconsciously saying, I can't even look at you right now. I had no idea if that's proper psychology, but I refuse to research if it is. This channel is about cats, not people. Where this particular sign of annoyance in cats is different to some of the others is that while those signs often hint your cat may be about to snap, looking away is a sign that they are trying to disconnect and disengage rather than let their negative emotions escalate. If your cat chooses to express their irritations by looking away from you and avoiding eye contact, that sounds like you have a very emotional, intelligent cat who would rather walk away from an argument. One lesser-known sign of annoyance, but a very key one, is excessive self-grooming or licking. Cats groom themselves regularly, which is handy. But just like how a human who washes their hands a bit too much, to the point it's affecting their ability to live a normal life, if a cat's self-grooming moves from when necessary to bordering on obsessive-compulsive, that is an issue. And there are many reasons why they may have fallen into the habit of overgrooming, and trying to soothe themselves when irritated is one. Generally, overgrooming is often linked to anxiety, but it can often be a subtle sign that something in their environment is bothering you. And yes, that something may well be you. If your cat starts licking excessively, try to identify any recent changes in their routine that can be triggering stress. And that includes admitting to yourself if you might have done something that crossed a line and bothered them. That's how you know your cat is annoying. But if you want to know how to tell if your cat has gone the other way and loves you so much they can't stop thinking about you, watch this next video.